Thank you, Mr. Peters. Chairman Cruz, you're recognized.
Thank you very much, and thank you to the chairman for hosting this hearing. Thank you to the witnesses for being here. Mr. Jeffries, let me start with you. Does AAR have any recommendations for this committee to stop freight theft? For example, would requiring DOT and DOJ to better coordinate when they receive information on freight theft help tackle this problem?
We absolutely have recommendations, and this is an issue that plagues not only the railroads, but the entire supply chain, and it's not going away. It's only getting bigger. Our adversaries are very organized criminal enterprises, strategically hitting high-value cargo. So first of all, thank you to you for your support on the Combating Organized Retail Crime Act. Thank you to others on the committee as well. We've got very good bipartisan support. That bill does three things. It increases information sharing across government. It creates investigatory motivation with the feds, and then it really pushes for some enforcement because oftentimes we arrest people and they're right back out on the street. Information, as you mentioned, information sharing is key. Coordination, DOT, DOJ. I'd throw DHS in there as well because they're kind of at the tip of the spear with a lot of that. Absolutely, we support it. Thank you for your support, and we want to keep working with this committee to address this problem.
Excellent, very helpful. Mr. Gilbertson, the Department of Transportation under Biden added both DEI and climate change-related criteria to the grant approval process, which Congress did not include in the authorizing statutes. For example, the Biden DOT thought of the Consolidated Rail Infrastructure Safety Improvement, or CRISI grant, as a program to, quote, explicitly address climate change, gender equity, and racial equity, and scored applications based on how well the applicant met these criteria. In fact, the Biden DOT required applicants to address, quote, equity as a condition of receiving construction funds. Mr. Gilbertson, are you aware of the challenges short-line railroads faced when applying for grants requiring such criteria that were unrelated to the merits of the actual project?
Senator, I previously mentioned that the CRISI grant approval process has been unnecessarily long, in our opinion. I'm not aware of the internal decision-making of how FRA has weighted these factors, but as a matter of policy, we would ask that the FRA limit its evaluation to the statutory criteria.
Asking that the government follow the law seems a pretty reasonable request from American citizens, and one would, I for one am grateful we now have an administration willing to follow the law instead of the preceding administration. Mr. Cumber, you talked about the acquisition of right-of-way as a major challenge to expanding Brightline in Florida. Brightline West is taking a creative approach by working with the state departments of transportation to build track along existing right-of-way. If Congress wanted to incentivize greater competition in the intercity passenger rail sector, what should we be thinking about regarding right-of-way acquisition? You get your microphone.
Great question, Chairman Cruz. There are a couple ideas that we have. The first is using the categorical exclusions to allow projects to move forward when they're in existing transportation corridors would significantly reduce the time it would take to implement projects. A normal kind of arc of a project is, if you think about 3 years of pre-development work, 5 years to construct, 3 years to get to stabilization, any extra time it takes to get that environmental process completed makes the project sometimes not financially feasible. Second, when it comes to the grant programs, our view is give the private sector the eligibility to apply for all the different US DOT and FRA grant programs. And I said that in my oral testimony. We just want all passenger models to be treated equally. Amtrak can compete, state-sponsored systems can compete, privately operated systems can compete. And if we have a level playing field, we think the benefits of getting competition into the passenger rail industry will happen.
And let me follow up what could Congress do to help facilitate more private sector participation to promote competition in inner-city passenger rail in this country? And Mr. Jeffries, I'm interested in your thoughts on this as well. But Mr. Cumber.
So, I strongly believe, obviously, competition makes everyone better. And there is a association out there that it's the Association for Innovative Passenger Rail Operations. And what they've been pushing for is when long-distance systems are being contemplated using federal funds, that they would have to be competed as opposed to Amtrak being the default operator. And that's something that I think in the reauthorization process, the committee could consider.
Mr. Jeffries.
Yeah, I think competition is good on that front. I also think getting all the stakeholders together before you launch on a project is really helpful, because oftentimes it involves a state, a municipality, a private entity, a host railroad perhaps, and getting everybody together before you roll out on new passenger projects results in a better outcome at the end of the day.
Thank you.